So I have heaps of people that talk to me about golfer's elbow. So in CrossFit we tend to do a lot of sort of like kipping pull-ups or butterfly type motions. We also do a lot of barbell over the head, which puts a lot of pressure on the elbow as well without a wrist in that extended position. And over time we can start to, I guess, wear away at the tendon, so it becomes like a tendinopathy. Basically our tendon tries to repair itself quickly, and by doing so it does sort of a mishmash job of it. So and that's because we tend to just layer upon more stress. So instead of doing a little bit of work and then giving yourself some rest and recovery, we sort of do a ton of work, next day do a ton of work again, and over time it starts to get worse and worse. So I actually had golfer's elbow really bad it put me out for about 12 months. Both sides, couldn't hold a barbell over my head, couldn't do any sort of pull-ups, couldn't do rope climbs, none of that. And I went through every little piece of information I could find to enable me to rehab that. So what I learned basically was that tendons love tension. So we don't want to overload the tendon too much, but we want to create a good amount of tension on the tendon, which stimulates type 3 collagen fiber growth, which is the stuff that we want to create strong tendons, okay? So the best exercise that I use, and I did this 3 times a week for about 8 reps, was grabbed hold of a dumbbell, and we're looking for mainly eccentric, so extending our muscle under tension, no concentric. So I would hold the dumbbell in this position, slowly let the dumbbell out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then pick the dumbbell up with my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would try to increase the weight of the dumbbell over time, but the trick is you need to have some pain in your elbow to be able to elicit the response that you need in the tendon. So you don't want it to be not painful, you want it to be like maybe a 3 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10. And the other thing is too, you can't just do an exercise and hope that it's going to rehab the tendon. You have to find which angles create some discomfort. So I found at the beginning, because I had so much inflammation, that straight away I'd feel like this. But a couple of months into my rehab, I was finding like I was extending right back, almost having a straight arm, getting on a bit of a funny angle, just to find which angles cause pain in my elbow, and doing the same exercise. Okay, so there's stacks of exercises that you can do, but I found this one the most successful. The trick is you've got to be patient, and you can't overload your elbows whilst you're doing this rehab. You've got to back right off that work that makes it painful to enable your elbows to recover. It takes, if you've got not a very bad tendinopathy, it might take you 6 to 8 weeks to recover. For me, it took me about 18 months to get back to full use of my elbows. For about 3 to 6 months I did plain out rehab, followed by 3 to 6 months of introduction back into exercise, and then just slowly building up volume. And I don't get problems with my elbows anymore, but it's still something that I worry about, so every now and then I'll jump in and do these to work on my tendon strength. Guys, if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to help. I know this tendinopathy really well. Golfer's elbow, I'm more than happy to help out with exercises and questions, so ask away. Cheers.